some, Mikey? Can I have some?
Welcome, season 2, episode 4. What's the time, Mr. Wolf? Your favorite podcast. Today with me, I've got man like Puriaaaaaaaaaa. How you doing,
I'm good, man. How's it going?
Yes, looking slick. How's work?
All good, man. All good. Very busy. Last year was the busiest year I've ever had. 25 tracks I've done in 1 year, 1 year and a half. So just keep working, man.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. So basically, you know how it works. We've been on a couple journeys together, and this episode we're trying to get the best setting. So we're down with London Creative Studios, and I hope you're feeling it. Are you comfortable?
Yeah, all good.
Nice.
All good. Yeah. First
So
time.
we're going to start off with a couple questions. You know how it goes, and it's just so your audience, your fan base get to know you. You know, you can. My fan base, people get to know you as well. So, what's the time, Mr. Wolf? Season 2, episode 4, with Puriaaaaaaaaaa. Let's go. What is your creative process? Like, what is your way of making music?
Every process is every tracks I've made. It comes differently in my head, but I would say it's come from a life experience. It comes from my childhood, maybe, and experiences I had before. The melody, the music I heard before, and social interaction I had with different people, different cultures, so on and so forth. Well, really just a combination of all the experiences I had, since my childhood till today, really. That's where it comes from. Yeah, that's how I can think of.
Sure.
So, yeah, it's come from personal experience.
Sure.
Personal experience.
Sure.
And culture is the other aspect as well. So, yeah, that's really.
Can you share like some tips or like some stuff that like you do to help you like create music and like when and your workload, like how you get it done? So like your experience, like what do you actually do? Like let me just give it to you like this. What type of music do you do? Like, can you explain your music? Because you call it
PEDM. Yeah, as you may know, PEDM.
So this is maybe why it's throwing you off. So, because I know your creative process. What is that? How do you create PEDM? Like, what is the process to creating PEDM for you?
I think we kind of get back to the previous question again, life experience, but also combining those experiences. So for instance, as you said, PEDM, so combining the Persian aspect and the electronic music aspect in one track, in one go. So it's all about layering those experiences as a track itself.
Mm-hmm.
And so far dealing with PEDM and combining two cultures is that what I'm hoping this year to do. It's something that usually leads my brain to. Yeah, man.
Sure. So within that now, what would you say? Where does PEDM stem from? Like, where's the background for PEDM?
The P stands for when I was at uni, everybody was like, "Oh, what's this track's called? What's this genre?" And everybody was like, "This is Puriaaaaaaaa's music. This is Puriaaaaaa's EDM." And they were like, "Oh, so it's Puriaaaaaaaa EDM," and they become PEDM.
Sure.
And then they were asking me, "Well, where does the drums come from?" I was like, "It's a Persian drum." So I still stick to the P itself. So we were like, "It's PEDM." But I tend to stick to the Persian EDM. So it's a combination of EDM and then that Persian 6/8 drum that makes people dancing. So do it in a way that almost all the cultures can interact with it. Previously, it was just Iranian people itself.
Sure.
But right now, I've done it in a way that hoping that more cultures can kind of deal with it and can dance with it under this umbrella of EDM itself. So that's what.
So can you share any tips and advice for like aspiring artists that are just starting out and getting into music? And when I say that, because PEDM is kind of creative and is organic. How can other artists be organic like you and just be creative and make fresh sounds and not have to follow the status quo? so to speak?
Man, I would say just get out of your culture and educate yourself. I think the education is the key because
I like that.
my experience comes from the education.
Sure.
I wouldn't be able to I wouldn't be able to be myself without an education, music education, obviously, and that leads me towards certain direction that I probably wouldn't go with watching a YouTube tutorial. So yeah, man, I think the key is the education. Simple, and that's what is missing in music industry, in the in the street of London, in the urban culture. I would say. I think more education helps. It creates fresh sound. It creates fresh kind of melody, fresh idea, fresh atmosphere, fresh harmony.
So how does this now contribute, just moving on to the next career, to like your heritage or your country and like your background? How does like how can that make it significant to them? Like not like you got PEDM.
Yeah.
So like with if it's Irish, does Ireland have a sound? How can they? Is it natural to immerse your region through your music, or is it due to Persian having their own sound and everything? Kind of another artist will kind of replicate what you're doing.
Well, they can. Well, they can replicate if they want, if they wish. Obviously, it's a process of making music, so everybody can, with a bit of a knowledge, they probably can copy somebody else. However, in that sense, the Persian aspect of my PEDM comes from the rhythm itself. But what I don't do with Persian culture is the melody. So the melody is all kind of EDM sound that we experience probably with David Guetta,
Sure.
Calvin Harris 2011, 12-ish. But what I change in that sense is the rhythm. And again, it's something that you can EDM with it and you can have your Persian dance with it in one go. So that's what I'm hoping to do, basically.
So what type of sounds have originated from your Persian music? What examples can you give me? Like, what artists have you got out there? You know.
As far as I know, nobody has ever done that commercially with kind of electronic. I know that nobody done it with electronic music, as far as I know. But obviously, we've got like Persian trap, we've got Persian drill. But what I hear about them is that they are sounding the musicality of them. It just sounds like a drill, just another drill track. Also, the language is different. So, but the language of the track, I don't see. Yeah, I don't see the change in the language of the track itself. The just language of the lyrics is changing.
So your fans will want to know, like, what inspires you and all these things. So, where can they find you? Like, where can they find your music? Like, where have you got anything out
Obviously,
there?
SoundCloud, YouTube. I've got my Instagram, Spotify, other platforms, Puriaaaaaaaaaa.
Okay.
And then you can write my name, put as much as A you want.
And what's the latest track you got going on? And what's your latest release?
Yeah, man. So you and I done a Chapros together.
Sure.
So we've got the Chapros, we've got the Do Me, we've got Give It To Me, and I've got a new track called Who Came to Party, and I'm rapping in Spanish and English and Persian in one track. So this 4 is my current project that I'm hoping to
Okay,
finish.
and you say that everyone can check you out on SoundCloud, on all the socials, on Instagram.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Very
on the
nice,
platforms.
very nice.
Yeah.
So, is there anything that you would like to ask or say while we're here?
I would just say to the new artists that don't give a shit about what other people tell you about your sound or music. Just look at the path you want to go and just continue to whatever you wish, whatever you started for, and just continue in that direction. You're always going to have a barrier, you're always going to have people that are going to guess you, but always just go straight forward to your direction and just enjoy the process of creating music. And yeah, just be true yourself.
Oh, yeah, that's dope.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming on, Priya. I mean,
You're welcome.
it's a pleasure. We're going to get some more music out of you later. Yeah, guys, thanks. This is the end of season 2, episode 4 with Puriaaaaaaaaaa. You know, London Creative Studios. Shout out to them. Shout out to Spider Production. And catch you on the season 3 end of the year. Everybody stay blessed, stay safe.
Great.